Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the project integration management. Okay, in the previous classes we discussed about project management office as well as different project life cycles and also the responsibilities of the project manager and responsibilities and role of the project manager. Okay, today we'll discuss about the project integration management. Okay, it's also called as PIM, PIM. It is also known as PIM. Okay, in the examination they ask what do you mean by a PIM directly. Okay, you should not get confusion with this. Okay, the PIM is nothing but project integration management. Understand? It's also called as PIM. Okay, the project integration management includes all the processes and activities that are taking place in the project and in this process project integration management, okay, it is to identify, define, combine, unify and coordinate all the activities and processes that are taking place in the project and in the project management process groups. Okay, we already discussed there are 5 project management groups. In that the important is how to integrate all these processes. It's most important. Nowadays the integration plays a very vital and crucial role, okay, in the project management. Okay, the project management process and activities, they do not work in isolation. Always they have to be integrated by using a lot of softwares and other tools. Okay, this project management integration includes the making the choices about the resource allocations. Okay, how the 4 M's, that is nothing but men, machines, materials and money, how it could be allocated to the each activities. Then balancing of the competing demands and examining the any alternative approaches and tailoring the processes to meet the project objectives. Okay, and also they manage the interdependency among the all the activities and processes in the project management. Okay, so this PIM, that is nothing but project integration management, it consists of 7 steps. Okay, the first step is that development of the project charter. Okay, we discussed in detail what we mean by the project charter. Okay, the first step is development of the project charter. The second step is development of the project management plan. Second step is development of project management plan. And the third step is direct and manage the project work. The fourth step is manage the project knowledge. The fifth step is monitor and control the project work. And the sixth step is perform the integration change control. Performance integrated change control. Then the seventh step is close the project or closing of the project phase. These are the 7 steps involved in the project integration management process. Okay, in the examination or in the PMI certification program, they ask you what is project integration management and what are the how many steps it consists of, and can you list the 7 steps which are being used for project integration management. Okay, even in the examination also they may ask. Okay, you should be able to remember and write all these 7 steps. Okay, so we'll discuss about the first step. Okay, that is known as the development of the project chapter, which is the first step of the development of the project chapter in the project integration management. Okay, okay, the development of the project chapter. Okay, the project charter, already you know that it is the process of developing a document. Before the initiation of the project, we need to develop a project charter, okay, in the form of documents. Okay, that documents, that is nothing but the project charter that defines, what are the authorities of a project manager. What are the authorities a project manager is being provided, and how to apply the organizational resources to all these project activities. That is known as project charter. Okay, this project charter is nothing but a document. All the information about the authorities of the project manager and all the resources used in the project activities have to be listed down. That is known as the development of the project charter. The project charter consists of some inputs and it produces certain outputs. Okay, so in between input and output, we have the tools and techniques, or the approaches, or the methods, or the techniques which are being used, okay, for the development of this project charter. Okay, for the project charter, there are four inputs. One is known as business document, agreements, and enterprise environmental factors, and the fourth input is organizational process assets. Okay, these are the four inputs for the development of project charter. Okay, then these inputs produces two outputs, that is known as the project charter. It is nothing but project charter document, and also it produces the assumption log. What all the assumptions and approximations are expected in the project, that should be there in the project assumption log. These are the two outputs to be produced by the project chart. Okay, in the examination they may also ask you what are the inputs, what are the tools and techniques, as well as what are the outputs are produced by the project chart. They may ask you like this. So you are expected to draw a block diagram, okay, where you need to highlight about the project charter inputs, that is four inputs, and the outputs which have been produced by the project development charter, and also what are the tools and techniques which are being used for these development of project charter. Okay, so the tools and techniques used are expert judgment. Okay, here we need to take the opinion of the expert judgment. Okay, I'll explain a little elaborately in the next step. So the second, the tools and techniques are nothing but data gathering. Okay, there are many methods are being used for gathering the information or the data, okay, about the project. And the third one is interpersonal team skills. Okay, what are the skills, what are the interpersonal skills, what are the team skills, what are the leadership skills have to be adopted by a project manager. That also we need to use for to get the output for this project development charter. Then the meetings are very most important. Okay, almost all project managers are involved in many meetings every day to see the progress of the project. Okay, these are all the tools and techniques used in the development of the project charter. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. So the inputs, the first one is known as the business document. Then what do you mean by this business document? So the business documents is nothing but it is the source of information, okay, about the project objectives and how these project objectives contribute to the organizational goals. Okay, organizational goals, that is known as a business document. And also it is called as a business case, is nothing but the business goals and business objectives, okay, and business strategies which are to be documented. That document is being approved by the both the parties of the customer as well as the project, the person who is going to handle the project. Okay, it is approved business case or a business document. That is known as the business document. It is an essential document which is to be expected to be acts as an input for the development of the project charter. Then market demand. What will be the demand for this product? Maybe the product, okay, maybe the service product or the research. What will be the demand in the market for that? That is to be known before the development of the project charter. And organizational needs. Okay, what are the organization is expecting? Okay, then the customer requires. Okay, what customer are intended to have the usage of this product or the project. Then technological advances. Okay, what are the new technologies are available, okay, for the execution of this project, that is to be identified. And legal requirements and ecological impacts, social needs, Okay, all these acts as an input. All these acts as an input for the business case. Then the second input is agreements. Okay, the agreements are used to define initial intentions of the project, and agreement may take from the contracts, memorandum of the understanding, MOUs, and service level agreements. Okay, the letter of agreements, letter of intents, verbal agreements, email, written agreements. All the agreements have to be obtained in the parties involved in the project. Okay, that is most important. And the third input is the enterprise environmental factors. So the enterprise environmental factor that influence the development of project charter process, okay, it includes the legal and regulatory requirements of the government, okay, and also the market conditions and the organizational cultures and the political climate, okay, and also the organizational governance framework. Okay, each and every organization has got its own governance, the own style of running the businesses. Okay, that is to be considered, and also the stakeholder expectations. Okay, what are the stakeholders are expecting out of this project or the product? That also to be written down, and the risks involved in the project, that also to be identified. Okay, this acts as the third input for the development of the project charter. Then the fourth input is organizational process as such. Okay, these can influence, okay, for the development of the project charter process. Those are nothing but the organizational standard policies, process and procedures. Okay, the every organization, okay, has got their own policies of running the business and own processes and own procedures. Okay, those called the standard of SOP, called the standard operating procedures. So they have to be considered, and the portfolio and the programs and the project governance framework, okay, that also to be considered, and also the monitoring and reporting methods. Okay, how to project is going to be monitored and controlled, and what is the proper channel of reporting back to the in the project reporting back to the project manager. Okay, that hierarchy has to be it has got a certain kind of procedures that have to be followed, and also some of the templates which are being used for the organizational information. Okay, then the tools and techniques. The first input, the four inputs we have discussed. Now we'll discuss to produce the outputs, the two outputs, that is nothing but the project charter and the assumption log. These are the two outputs of the project charter. To produce these two outputs, what tools and techniques are being used? Okay, so these are the following tools and techniques which have been used for the development of the project charter output. The first one is expert judgment. Okay, this is the most important aspect. Okay, the every project manager seeks the certain suggestions, okay, certain solutions, okay, from the experts or from the consultants who have got big knowledge about the project, about the concerned project. Okay, so this all the expert experience or the knowledge is going to be taken from the consultants, okay, with respect to the organizational strategy and what are the technical knowledge, new knowledge is being used for the project management, and also in during the calculation of the project duration or during the budget estimation of the project, and also for the risk identification. So for all these, don't think that only the project manager will make a decision. No, he involves all the expertise people or the consultants or the experienced project engineers, okay, to provide certain suggestions and solutions for this development of project charter. Then second one is data gathering. We need to collect the data, okay, about the similarity of the project which have been handled in the previously. Okay, that is called as a brainstorming. Okay, that is nothing but the discussion with the knowledge people, and also the focus groups. We need to carry out some kind of surveys for a focused groups or the focused customers, okay, who are expecting, what are the expectation of these projects, something like that. And sometimes we need to go for the interviews also. Sometimes we need to carry out the interviews, okay, for the stakeholders or the requirements of the project by the customers, by the other stakeholders who are involved in the project. Okay, these are the second tool or the technique which is being used for the development of the project charter. The third one, interpersonal skills and team skills. Okay, so these are most important with respect to the project manager to develop a project charter. Okay, how to handle the conflicts in the project management, that is known as the conflict management. Okay, the any issues occurs, okay, how those issues are to be properly handled. And meeting management, okay, how the meetings are properly managed among the stakeholders, and what is the procedure involved in conducting the meeting and recording the meeting and the adopting the meeting, and what are the milestones, okay, and what will be the meeting timings, meeting schedule. So all the things have to be used as a tool or a technique, okay, for the development of the project charter. Okay, so these are the tools and methods. Then the next one is the output of the project charter is project charter is the first output is project charter. Okay, it is the written document which formally authorizes the project manager's authority and how the organizational activities and resources are integrated in the project management. That is known as the project charter. It includes the purpose of the project and measurable project objectives, high level requirements and the project description, summary of the milestone schedules and prepared approved financial resources, key stakeholder lists, project approval requirements, project exit criteria, and assigned project manager responsibility and authority. So like this, it consists of a lot of information about the project before it is started. Then the second output is assumption log. Okay, this assumption log is nothing but the high level strategic and operational assumptions and the constraints that are normally identified in the business case before the project is initiated and will flow in the project charter. Okay, these are some of the assumptions and the constraints, okay, which have been identified in the project. Okay, they have to be written in the document. What are the expected technical specification? What are the estimates? What are the schedules and the risks? All the things to be written in the assumption log. Okay, so these are the inputs and the outputs and the tools and techniques which are being used for the development of the project charter, which is the first step of the PIM process. Then the second step of the PIM process, that is project integration management, is development of the project management plan. So what do you mean by this project management plan? It is the process of defining, preparing, coordinating all the plan components and consolidating them into the integrated project management plan. Okay, it is nothing but it is something like a blueprint. It is something like a blueprint, okay, or the project plan, okay, which tells you how the project management processes are being defined and how they are being prepared and coordinated, what resources are required, okay, when the activities have to be started, when the activity is going to be closed, and what are the relationships which exist between the activities. All the things have to be put in the project management plan. Usually project management plan, usually it consists of the PERT CPM, okay, the program evaluation review technique, as well as critical path method. So these are some of the tools and techniques which are being used for preparation of the activity relationships which are being existing in the project management. Okay, so this consists of again inputs and the tools and techniques used in preparing the project management plan and the output of the project management plan. Okay, the output is naturally the second step is the project management plan. So what are the inputs required for this development of the project management plan? The first input is the project charter. It is the initial document which has been prepared for before the project is being executed. The second is the output of the other processes, and the third one is enterprise, environmental factors, and the fourth input is organizational process assets. So these are the four inputs, okay, for the development of the project management plan. Then what are the tools and techniques are used? The first tool is expert judgment, and the second is data gathering, third is the interpersonal team skills, and the fourth one is the meeting. Almost the same documents, almost the same tools and techniques which has been used in the first step. The same tools and techniques are being used for the development of the project management plan. Okay, so then the third step, okay, the third step in the PIM process is the directing and managing the project work. Okay, once the project management plan is ready, by considering all the input for the development of the project plan and adopting all the tools and techniques of the project plan, the third step is how to direct and how to manage the project work. That is the most challenging job for project managers, and how to lead the team, how to motivate the team, okay, how to manage the work, okay, how to review the work. So all these things comes under the directing and managing the project work. Okay, so already the plan exists, no doubt. So as per the plan, all the activities are going on or not. Okay, say for example, consider the government has implemented a lockdown. Okay, 14 days lockdown. Okay, these have to be properly managed for the 14 days, and all the lockdown procedure have to be adopted properly by the citizens of the country as well as by the government. Whether it has to be more properly monitored and managed and controlled, and the feedback is given back to the government. So similarly, during the execution of the project work, so all the activities or the processes are going as per the plan or not. Okay, if not, what corrective action have to be taken out, okay, with respect to the resources of the project. The resources may be the human resources, okay, or it may be the equipments required, or the machineries required, or the material required, or the budget required. So anything, okay, is to be properly utilizing or not as per the plan or not. That is going to be properly managed. Okay, to develop this, the direction or the motivation of managing the project work, we need to have certain inputs. Similarly, again, inputs and the tools and techniques being used, and what the output is being produced. Okay, that is nothing but a proper document, the proper guidelines, proper implementation guidelines have to be prepared for directing and managing the project work. That acts as the output. Then what are the inputs for this project management plan? Okay, that is the first step. We develop a project charter. Based on the project charter, we develop the project management plan. So the project management plan acts as an input for the third step now. Then project document, that is nothing but the project charter, and the change log. Change log is nothing but, so the many times during the execution of the project, we come across some change requests from the customers. They cannot be neglected. Okay, they have to be properly taken into consideration, and they have to be kept in the meeting, and those change requests have to be approved by the configuration management team of the project management. Then lesson learned registered. Okay, we have a previous document. Okay, what lessons have been learned with a similar execution of the projects. Okay, that has to be, the book has to be taken as an input for this, and the milestone list. Okay, that is nothing but when we need to check the project properly. Okay, what are the schedule dates and specific milestones, and project communication, project schedule, and requirement traceability matrix of the stakeholders, and the risk registers and risk reports, and approved change request, Okay, all these things have to be taken as input. Okay, as well as the enterprise environmental factors, that is nothing but organizational structure, practices, procedures, standard operation procedures, organizational infrastructure, okay, the stakeholders, all the things have to be taken into consideration. And the organizational process assets, okay, that is standard policies, the issues and defect management procedures, okay, all the things with respect to the organization have to be taken as input for the development of the third step, that is direct and management of the project. And what tools and techniques are being used. Okay, here the integrated concept, that is nothing but the all the processes of the management, project management have to be properly integrated. That is nothing but by using a lot of softwares called as MIS, project information system. Okay, that is called as the management information system, how to be integrated in all the departments of the project management using IT, information technology. Okay, that is to be used, and the expert judgment is to be used, and we need to carry out a lot of meetings for decision making. So these tools, these three important tools acts as tools and techniques for development of the direction, motivation, and managing and controlling of the project work. Okay, then outputs are nothing but the deliverables. Okay, so what will be the end results out of the product or the project is going to be expected, that is going to be produced. Okay, so to get the deliverables, what kind of procedures is to be adopted for monitoring and controlling of the product or the project, and also the work performance data. Okay, we need to record all the work performance report. Are the works are going ahead as per the plan or not, or any issues which have been occurred during the execution of the project, that also note down in the issue plan. What is the issue type, what, who is the raised the issue, that, okay, when he has raised, what is the description of the issue, what is the priority of the issue, who is assigned to this issue, what is the resolution date, okay, when it has been discussed in the meeting, what final suggestions or the solution has been provided. All the things have to be written in the output of this third step. And the change request, okay, already discussed. Okay, any changes from the stakeholders have to be discussed in the meeting and have to be approved by the configuration management, and it is to be documented. Okay, so then project management plan updates. Okay, what we prepared the plan. Okay, then there will be slight moderation, alteration based on this direction and management that has to be adopted in the project management plan. That is called as the plan update, project management update, with respect to activity, with respect to assumption log, or it may be with respect to the lesson learned, or the requirements, or the risk, or the stakeholder requirements, or anything. Okay, that is to be managed and controlled. Okay, I hope today we completed these three steps, and also I will take another 10 to 15 minutes so that we can complete the remaining steps also. Okay, so we'll continue with the fourth step. The fourth step is nothing but the fourth step of the PIM process, that is project integration process, is managing the project knowledge. Okay, as you know that the project knowledge is most important for everybody who are involved in the project manager. Almost all project managers and the assistant project managers and the supervisors and also the lower level people, laborers, so they need to possess certain kinds of skills with respect to their education, knowledge and responsibility. So that is most important. And also we discussed in detail about the 10 knowledge areas in the previous class, Those 10 knowledge areas are most important for all the project managers in managing the project work. Okay, in this we consist of again we come across some inputs and outputs, and also the tools and techniques used for managing the project knowledge. Okay, use five inputs here. The first input is project management plan, and the second input is project document, and the third one is deliverable, and fourth one is the enterprise environmental factor, and the fifth one is the organizational process assets. Okay, already you know what is project management plan. I need not discuss again, and also you know what is project document. Okay, that also you know what is project document or project charter. Okay, what is business case, what is business plan, you know it, and what are the deliverables are nothing but these are the outputs of the project, that also you know, and also the enterprise environmental factors, the government policies, government requirements, regulatory responsibilities, and also the organizational processes, standard operating procedures. So all the information acts as input for managing the project knowledge. Okay, then what is the outputs are produced? Output produced are the lesson learned registered. Okay, lesson learned registered. Okay, we need to again add on to the existing lesson learned registered. What are the new lessons we learned? And the project management plan updates, okay, which we developed in the second step. It may not be same as the second step. When you proceed to the fourth step, there will be a lot of changes that is to be accommodated in the project management plan. And the third step is organizational process assets updates. Okay, the standard operating policies, procedures, okay, of the organization has to be updated. Okay, so these are the output produced in the managing the project knowledge. Okay, by using the tools and techniques. First tools and technique used is expert judgment. Okay, seeking the expert opinion. The second one is knowledge management, pulling of all the knowledge of these same project managers ideas in managing their projects. That is pulling of the knowledge, that's called the knowledge management. And information management, that is MIS. And the fourth one is interpersonal and team skills, okay, of the project management have to be used. These four tools and techniques used to produce the outputs for managing the project knowledge. Then the fifth step is the monitor and control the project. Okay, it's the most important. Okay, the monitoring and controlling of the work of the project is most important. Okay, so is the activity are properly monitored and controlled as per the plan. Okay, monitored and controlled. Okay, the third step is directing and managing. The fourth step is monitoring and controlling. Monitoring and controlling. In this third step is directing is nothing but motivating and guiding the people for the execution of the project. Okay, and managing all the processes as per the project management plan. The fourth step is monitoring and controlling and expediting the project activities and the processes as per the plan. Okay, that is nothing but reviewing or cross-checking all the activities and processes of as per the project plan. So if any deviation or if any variation, okay, that is to be taken care and that to be adopted or modified the project management plan such that the all the activities and the processes have to move as per the plan. That is known as monitoring and controlling. If you do not monitor and control, so the project will not be in our control. We cannot meet the expected delivery schedule, and also we cannot meet the expected delivery budgets. Okay, and also it may overrun. Okay, that's why the monitoring and controlling of a project plays a very important role. So here also again we need to discuss about the inputs and the outputs and the tools and techniques are being used. So here we need to use the project management plan. It is okay, we need to verify all the activities and processes. That's why we need to have a second step where we develop the project management plan. Then the second input is project documents. Okay, what the documents we have prepared in the project charter, about the assumption log, okay, about the project estimates, cost estimates, issue log, okay, the milestone list, quality reports, risk register. So these are all the things act as an input, okay, for monitoring and controlling of the project. The third one is work performance information, okay, and also the agreements and the enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. Okay, all these six documents acts as the input for the monitoring and controlling of the project. Okay, monitoring and controlling of the project. What will be the output? The output of this process is work performance reports, change request, and project management plan updates, and the project documents update. When we monitor and control the previous project management plan or the previous project documents, they cannot remain as it is because of the deviation in monitoring and controlling the project. So there will be a slight updation is essential for all these inputs. Okay, so that acts as an output for this monitoring and controlling of the project. What are the tools and techniques are being used? The first tool and techniques is the expert judgment. Okay, in almost all the steps, expert judgments are important. And the data analyst, so we call it as the business analyst. Okay, always we need to keep the opinion or the suggestions or the solutions from the data analyst or the business analyst, okay, for the getting the proper kind of output for the project in terms of the alternative analysis, or in terms of the cost benefit analysis, or in terms of the value analysis, or in terms of the variation analysis, or in terms of the root cause analysis. We need to seek the suggestions and solutions from the data analysis. That is called as the data analysis. And decision makings and meetings are the other tools of this step, that is development of the monitor and controlling of the project work. Then the fifth step is over. Then the fifth step is fifth is over. Then the sixth step is the performance integrated change control. That is the sixth step. Okay, so in this, the process of reviewing all the change requests, as I told you that as the project executes, okay, there is a lot of change requests comes, okay, from the customer. Say for example, government has given a metro project to L&T, for the construction. Okay, the various phases are taking place. Okay, every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, there will be small change request comes from the government to the project handler, that is L&T. So all those change requests have to be discussed, and they have to be discussed in the meeting, and final approval is to be taken. Any changes in the duration or any changes in the budget, okay, all the things have to be, approval has to be taken from the, again discussed and taken from the government. That is called the performance integrated change control. Any request comes, it is to be discussed and prepare a document, take the approval and prepare the document. So again, this consists of number of inputs for the integrated change control. The first input is project management plan. The second input is project document and the work performance reports and the change request, okay, and the enterprise environmental factors and organizational process. Okay, almost same as the previous things. The only thing change is that the work performance report and the change request, these are the two important documents acts as an input along with the other documents of the project management. Then output produced are nothing but the approved change request. Okay, approved change request. When the change request comes, you cannot implement immediately in the project work unless until it is to be formally approved in the committee where all the stakeholders are involved. Say for example, government and the project handler. Okay, how to be properly approved. That is known as the one of the major output of the project control. Then project management updates. Okay, the project management will not remain same as the previous thing. It has to be updated as per the change request. And also the project documents have to also to be updated because they cannot remain as it is in the input because lot of changes are taking place because of the change request, which is being change request is a request which acts as the input. When modification is done, when the approval is done, again all the project documents and the project management plan have to be properly modified, changed. That is known as the performance of the integrated control in the PIM process. Okay. Then the last step of the process is the closing phase of the project. That is the seventh step is known as the closing phase or the last phase of the project management. All the activities of the project management have to be stopped. Okay, once all the objectives or the deliverables of the project which have been defined in the project charter have been attained by the project manager, okay, then all the activities have to be formally closed. That is known as the closing of the project phase. Okay, it acts as, again, it consists of inputs. There are 78 inputs: the project charter and project management plan and project documents and the acceptance deliverables and business documents, agreements, procurement documents and organizational process assets. Okay, these are all acts as a inputs. So all these documents have to be properly verified in presence of the customer whether all the deliverables or the requirements of the project have been met as per the project management plan and project charter. Okay, have to be properly verified. Okay, by using the tools, expert judgment, data analysis and the meetings. Okay, these are the three tools are being used for finalizing the closing of the project. Okay, the outputs are nothing but project document updates and the final product and service and the result transition and final report of closure report, final closure report and the organization process sets updates. Okay, all the output documents have to be properly closed, okay, by discussing with the stakeholders of the project, okay, and taking the certain suggestions from the business analyst as well as experts opinion in the project management. So this completes the first unit of your project management. Okay, if you have anyway, I am uploading this video in the YouTube. Okay, you listen 2 to 3 times so that you understand the steps involved in the project integration management process. Okay, the steps involved in the project management process, all the 7 steps. Every step consists of inputs, tools and methods and approaches used and the outputs. Okay, this is a block diagram for every step has to be used and explained, okay, as per the inputs and outputs with respect to each step. Okay, if you have got any doubts, okay, you can raise the doubts in the class. Bye, take care.